morning. Thank you for tuning in to Overcoming Life. I am your host, Opal Bailey, and I hope you had an awesome weekend. You know what? The moment that we've had David on our show last Friday, we had such an awesome response with him being here, so I invited him back. So good morning, David.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great. Thank you again for coming back and telling us and talking to us again about family value.
No problem. It's great to be back.
Cool. So you know what? I was thinking through the weekend on the things that we discussed previously, and I found out that you have a missions ministry going on at the church, and that I believe one of your children is in missions. Tell us about that.
Yeah, missions has always been something that's been really a strong part of what we have done as a family. We actually first took a mission trip. The first one I went on, I was 7 years old. And so missions have always really been a part of what we've done together, whether it's something going over, which I've done many, many times to many different countries, or just doing missions here locally. You know, it's a mission, all around us. There are missions to be done and people that need help. So I really feel like it's important for us to instill that into our children, that a lot of times that we do tend to get self-centered and focused on ourselves, but to really focus outside of ourselves. So we can do that through going on missions to other countries. My son, Micah, is 11 years old, and he is in Mexico right now working over the summer with my sister, who's a full-time missionary there. And he's been doing a really some great things and working with other children his age and just playing and hanging out. But it also really helps to get him outside of the view of just here locally and just himself, and really help to see how other people live. Not that we have, we are a wealthy family at all, but just to see how there are people that really come together. They do feeding programs there where kids only eat at the feeding programs. So 3 or 4 times a week, they're getting regular meals. And other than that, just getting little kind of brought together stuff. So for him to be able to see that and be a part of that, it really affects it really affects you forever. I know it has affected me forever from those first mission trips I took in the Amazon in Brazil, all the way through now. Just having a heart for other people, and we can do that here locally through volunteering at different places. Volunteering at soup kitchens and ministries that help the homeless and ministries that help. There are all kinds of opportunities around for us to be able to volunteer with our children, to show that it's important to kind of give back to the community and to also pour into people who have less than we have, at whatever level that is, to be able to help others. And so I really feel like, that's very important to instill that in our children and to help them not be so center focused, but to focus on others around them too. It's very important. And so we do that through local stuff here. And then, we really try to instill that into our children, our children ourselves, and the children at the church as well, to really help them to see that there's more outside of that. So right now they're actually on an initiative right now where they're praying for children in other countries, and each Sunday each small group, which is about 3 or 4 kids, are taking a specific country and kind of praying over that country and praying over the children in that country, and it just helps them to really think outside themselves. And what I've seen is there's a lot of countries they didn't even know what the name was when we told them your country is, and being engaged and seeing where it is on the map, and saying, there are children there, and I want to pray for them, and even something like that where it helps them to get a focus off of them and onto others. It really helps. So I feel like that's important.
Wow, that's awesome. So what you're doing is teaching them how to overcome their selfishness. Thinking of themselves all the time and looking for the needs of others.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So how do you help the children? I believe you have a ministry in the church as well. So how do you help them to overcome the things that they have to deal with on an everyday basis?
Just like daily stuff.
Just daily stuff, yeah.
There really is a broad range of things that kids go through, whether it's through different family situations or through different things. And being in ministry for a lot of years now, I've seen so many people come through with different things And it really is, it really takes work to overcome some of those things and to really be able to move on in life, especially when things have come through hardships or different things that they've gone through, even a death in the family or a death with a parent, something like that. It really helps. And so what we've tried to do is just try to bring them in and really get them engaged in conversation. We have our kids' church ministry is called World Changers. So even previously what we were talking about, having a world focus, but also being able to through that just have teachers that are engaging with kids and even bringing some of the things they're struggling with into conversation and into training in what we do, instead of just going through a curriculum, going through things that are actually engaging with what they're going through right then and there. And even things that are going on that may be trends that are, catching on, how those things, the positive things from that, the negative things from that, and how what we can learn and what we can grow in from those things too. So I really feel like that's important. That's something we really try to instill in our kids at Destiny, is to really, be world focused and not be so self-centered. And it's so easy to fall into those things. We see it so much every year. I think when I see it the most is when we come around to Christmas time. That time is a great time of giving, but it's also a time where a lot of that selfishness kind of arises, where we don't even think outside of our realm. So this year, actually, I'm taking a group of young people right before Christmas, and we're going to be in Mexico, and we're going to work primarily in a feeding program and with an orphanage, working with kids that have no families, and bringing gifts to people in the feeding program, kids in the feeding program who won't have a gift if we don't show up. So that's something we're doing this year. In December, we're planning on leaving right around the 10th or 12th. We're still working on securing airline tickets and going till right before 1 or 2 days before Christmas. And I really feel like that really helps them to engage and kind of get out of that, self-centered mindset and see the world around. I mean, last time we went before Christmas, we brought toys in to kids who, the looks on their faces are burned in my heart and mind. Just seeing the appreciation they had for just receiving something on Christmas, and seeing the parents come and thanking us at the same time to say, without that, Christmas wasn't going to have anything, and just being able to do that, and that bringing young people to see that, it really does change and impact them forever. It really can change their world and help them to think outside of themselves I really feel like for a lifetime. I know that's what it's done for me personally.
Yeah. And I think you're doing a good job in reaching out, not only just for international, but for reaching in our local kids here, every day, who we see, our neighbors, because sometimes they have this idea that it's all about me. Give me what I want when I want it. And so they're raised up as adults to think that it's all about them.
Right.
And so overcoming life is not all about us.
Yeah.
It's giving out what we've learned and how to help other people. So it's good to know that the children here can have somewhere to go and people to talk to when they're going through things in their life, and to be able to have that support system to overcome these obstacles.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you so much for coming in today to Overcoming Life, and looking forward to seeing you again. Yeah,
I'd love to come back and be a part of the show again, and just really look forward to continuing to work with families. And I really feel like it's important for us to realize how important it is for us to engage as families, but to also reach outside of even our own personal families to the community, to reach out to the community. It may take, stopping mowing the lawn and throwing the ball with the kid down the street, or, riding a bike, and just whatever it is that you can help and with our own personal families, but also reaching outside of our personal families to the community, and however we can do.
Thank you for tuning in to Overcoming Life. I am your host, Opal Bailey. You have a good day.